Honorable Speaker, I do thank you for this opportunity. And in the same breath, I'd like to really thank the Honorable Opiyo Wandayi for bringing such a timely issue to the floor of the House so that it can be debated in the right place, Madam Speaker. A few weeks back, this city witnessed a lot of destruction in the name of fighting for the cost of living. However, we have a constitution that mandates this House to address matters that concern Kenyans and resolve them. So this matter is properly before the House, it's properly in the right place, and for that I thank the leader of minority. Madam Speaker, the cost of living has become an issue in this country, not today. Madam Speaker, the sponsor of this motion belongs to a formation that has a leader. And the leader of this formation, just a few short months ago, told us that the cost of living is not an issue. At that point, they were in government. They knew what was happening. They knew how we got here. Madam Speaker, how we got here did not happen in the last 6 months, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we had a dispensation that at its prime was borrowing in excess of 2 billion Kenya shillings a day.
What is your point of order on a Bombui?
Madam Speaker, I've listened keenly to the honorable member, and he has indicated that those people were in government. Madam Speaker, he has to be very specific. Who is he referring to? Because I have been here, this is my 3rd term, and I've always been in opposition. Madam Speaker, let him confirm and clarify.
Continue, Honorable KJ.
Madam Speaker, allow me not to delve into this because this is a very serious motion, Madam Speaker, and we might not do justice to the people who brought us to this House if we dwelt on pettiness, Madam Speaker. The issues are major. Let us state them, let us find the remedy, and let us start working towards the remedy. Madam Speaker, I was saying that at the height of our excessive borrowing, we were borrowing in excess of 2 billion Kenya shillings a day, Madam Speaker. That is how we found ourselves in a situation where we were borrowing to do recurrent expenditure. That is how we found ourselves borrowing monies that were not good loans, very expensive loans to pay salaries, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, at our prime, there were heists and theft happening in government, Madam Speaker. Blatant theft. We are talking about the Kemsa haste, Madam Speaker. We know what happened, Madam Speaker, when we were trying to change the constitution through a modality called BBI, Madam Speaker. At a time when the country was struggling to make ends meet, we were ready to spend 12 billion Kenya shillings to just create positions in this country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we cannot remedy the situation if we cannot look back and see where the rain started beating us, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when the shoe changed from one foot to the other, others found it more convenient to go to the streets, Madam Speaker, visiting untold destruction upon this city, Madam Speaker. The individuals who would visit the low-income areas of this city, Madam Speaker, cause chaos, cause death, cause anarchy, theft, and pilferage, Madam Speaker, and end up in the evening high-fiving each other in some air-conditioned clubs in this city, Madam Speaker. After they've left those people they purport to be speaking on behalf of in the agony that they put themselves in, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is important to note that this government has been in power for 6 months. In those 6 months, the changes are amazing, Madam Speaker. And I understand the frustration and why one would be keen to distract this government because they realize what is happening, Madam Speaker. That if the plans that are underway are able to be established and implemented, Madam Speaker, we will have a new country. Mine is to call us as a House to see the problem that is on the ground, start identifying solutions, and Madam Speaker, in the spirit of bipartisanism, we might find some solutions that can emanate from this House, Madam Speaker, and start alleviating the cost of living and start giving solutions to the problems that we're talking about. But that will call for objection.
Thank you, Honorable KJ. Honorable John Mbadi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity and also to thank the minority leader for bringing this timely motion. Madam Speaker, I want to speak as a professional and as a finance expert. Where we are today did not happen yesterday. It is true, and no one can deny, that the unchecked borrowing starting from 2013 to date has brought us to partly to where we are. That cannot be denied. And I will tell you for a fact, we have spoken every financial year in this House. I have personally contributed in every budget speech condemning unchecked borrowing. Now we are here, we should have known that when the shilling depreciates, then the debt will rise automatically. If you are paying 900 billion per year, you will pay 1.2 trillion today because the shilling is exchanging at 130 and not at 100 shillings a few months ago. Madam Speaker, I want to also say that having said that, I also talked here when Kenya Kwanza took over leadership. And I said that this is not the time to politic. This is not the time to remind us of what happened in the other election. And I said that this is not the time to talk about who owns what shares. What value is it to you to own shares in a crippling company, which is Kenya? It is collapsing. So what if you own shares? The Deputy President, I want to ask you, if you own shares alone, and Mbadi doesn't have shares, and it is collapsing, so what? Let us avoid escapism. Let us realize that now that you are in office. Whether you came into that office through the window or the back door, you are there. You must deliver to the people of Kenya. There is no excuse. Madam Speaker, why do you keep reminding us of what happened yesterday when today President Uhuru Kenyatta left 44 PSs in office and you came in with a struggling economy and you increased the number to 51? What austerity measures? You came in to office when Uhuru Kenyatta had this CASS, which is even illegal in my view, unconstitutional. There were 23. And then today, there are 50. And you are telling us that we are on the right track, that we are waiting for tomorrow. Which right track is this? The truth of the matter is that there is no extravagance in this government.
Honorable Mbadi, Leader of Majority, what is your point of order?
Again, on Standing Order 91, Honorable Speaker, statements of fact. The Honorable John Mbadi has just asserted that the CAS position is unconstitutional. And I know he could be alluding to the case that was in court, and he knows the judgment to that law, to that particular case, Honorable Speaker, and the issues that were canvassed in court and settled in court. And therefore, unless the Honorable John Mbadi can adduce evidence that such a position as CAS is unconstitutional, in fact, even those who went to court had an issue with the process and the appointment of the current CASs. As much as he has appointed the numbers, and that I am not arguing with him, but he cannot contend that that position is unconstitutional because even the issue in court then was on the process. And the process in the appointment of these current CSs has been followed. And he also knows that matter is still in court, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mbadi.
I only want to respond by telling William Samoei Ruto, please don't listen to Chungwa, listen to John Mbadi. If you want to deliver to this country, listen to me, don't listen to this your majority leader. Because, Madam Speaker, what I'm speaking is what will help this country, not these side shows. Madam Speaker, this is the time when we are talking of austerity measures, and you have a government that is buying vehicles, and there are vehicles that are enough for the public officers. This is a time we are talking about austerity measures, and there is a resumption of construction of dams through loans, which dams are just conduits for corruption. Madam Speaker, if we have to be careful and serious with our economy, let us face each other in the eye and tell each other that all Kenyans have contributed to this. And that is why we elect governments every 5 years, so that if there is mess, another government...
Your time is up. Chair, Finance Committee.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And from